Well guys, welcome back to the channel. Good morning, Paladin Piper. What better cool morning than to try, can't read that, Bourbon Street by Sutliff. So, the cut is really rough. Really chunky cut, which I technically usually like. Here are the constituents, because there are a lot, and I'm getting a lot of muddled flavors. So up front, you get this kind of sweet, I'm going to say muddled sweetness. With a little bit of smoky character, teeny bit of spice, a little bit of nuttiness. I don't detect any Virginia yet. There is Virginia in this blend. But I'm going to go on the journey and see how it develops. Before I do, though, I want to tell you this is actually Sutliff's match for an old codger blend called Bond Street. Now, I have had Bond Street. The other thing that's there is a little bit of floral. Not horrible, but it's a little there. Now, Bond Street, that's what reminded me of it. Bond Street was very floral, very perfumey. Mixture 79, overly perfumey to me. All the way into the, and some of you guys might like this, I know, but Galwa soapy category. It was too much for me. So far, this is nowhere near that perfumey soapy. But there's a little there. So, all right, I'm going to go on the journey, and we'll come back to you with the final third of Bourbon Street Batch by Sutliff. Hang with me. Welcome back to the halfway mark of Sutliff's Bourbon Street, the match for Bond Street. So, I don't know what to think of this, to be honest with you. Throughout my piping journey, I've had a lot of blends that, I shouldn't say I have a lot. I've had a lot of blends, but I haven't had a lot of these type of blends that, I'm just going to come out and say it, trying to keep my mic clear so you guys can hear me. This is one of those blends that doesn't know what it wants to be. It's not fully a burley. It's not fully an English in my mind. And I know, if you guys have been with me, you know I compartmentalize things, and that's what I do. But it's not an aromatic. It's not a codger blend, really, to me. It's not really a crossover. Not a straight Virginia. It just kind of is. And yeah, so you get a little bit, in my opinion, of a lot of different things at different times. So you're going to get a little bit of spice. I could pick up a little bit of the nuttiness. There was a little bit of grass that just came through just a second ago from the Virginia. Some sweetness that's there. I don't get much bourbon at all, but again, I've never been able to pick up bourbon in blends. Now, whiskey I can pick up like a strong whiskey, but I don't really ever get bourbon, so to speak. And I don't enjoy bourbon in pipe tobacco blends as much. I know, from Kentucky, sacrilege. I feel like bourbon oftentimes to me, makes a blend taste sometimes rancid or just like this, muddled. Um, Nothing is standing out and nothing is, but yeah, so there's nothing standing out, but there's also, it's all subdued so much that you can't really appreciate any of the nuances. You can get a little bit if you're really focusing on them. Retrohale, I got a little bit of the bourbon and just more of the kind of nutty burley notes, which is typically what I pick up in retrohales. But doesn't burn hot. Lighting can be a little bit of a chore. Now what I did was I took some of these broken flake chunks that are in there and I rubbed them out. I know this has been in the baggie since Zach sent it to me. I'll show you that there. But like here's one of the big chunks and I just rubbed them all out. I will say the bag note, just me open it, smells like caramel, kind of caramel molasses. I don't really get much caramel out of this. Again, it's just kind of there. So, take one more puff here. The floral is always there. And I am not anti-floral if it's done well. It's always there, but it's very subdued, which is good. I'm assuming that's coming from the dark fired Kentucky, as well as kind of that smoky character. But this is one of those blends I would say, like I said, doesn't know what it wants to be. And I'm sitting here in my mind going, it needs something. And the first thing off the top of my head, and again, I don't know how this would be, so if you guys have Bourbon Street and you want to try this, let me know, is I would put, and this is coming from Paladin, who loves Burleys, I would put a big dose of Latakia in this thing. Because I feel like I almost want that smoky character to increase and to be more full. Because when you have that within, again, in my mind, an English blend, this is not where this is, but you give that big enhancement from a Latakia, and then all these other components just kind of play supporting roles, and that might work a little bit better. Just my thoughts. The only thing that's not in this is Turkish. I'm not a big Oriental fan anymore. I used to love Orientals. So maybe putting a helping of like, I'll even say Basma or Izmir if you like the kind of floral stuff to tick it up. Might be pretty good. I think if you were to just throw Burley in here, I think it would just kind of just increase the nicotine strength and not really do anything for the flavor profile. So, with all that being said and that ramble, I'm going to give this a C-. It just is. So, and some of those blends are. Trying to remember off the top of my head, you know, what blends were like that. VIP match was one that was kind of similar, kind of all over the place, didn't know what I wanted to be. But all right, guys, take care. We'll see you very soon on another Paladin Piper video.